Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Real United States Video Blog. I'm your host Paul Campbell, and as always behind the camera is my camera operator and wife Beverly Campbell. And you saw in our last episode perhaps that we had built a green screen, a Chroma key screen here in our studio so that we could do something a little bit different. Now I know that the majority of the work that we do is in the field, so a Chroma screen has limited value to us. But right now it's 7 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit. And it's just a little colder and the roads are a little more treacherous than we actually would like to go out on at the moment. It's just not practical. We don't have the good fortune of living in a large city like many of our colleagues, or near a large city. We actually live in a very small community, as you've probably seen. And therefore it takes us an hour to get to even a reasonable sized city and about 3.5 hours to get to a major city here in the United States. So we're going to do a new segment. It's going to show on Thursday evenings, in addition to our regular show, which is going to come out still every Monday morning at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. That's GMT -5. And try to do something a little different, give you some behind the scenes looks, and answer some of the requests that I've had from my viewers around the world. And I've had a lot of them. Many of these questions have been more about things that aren't people, places, or things, and that I have to answer here in the studio. There have been questions about language and about techniques for videoing and things like that I'd like to answer for my viewers. So here we go. And I want to start off with the green screen. Now you saw in the last episode that we used Pittsburgh paint and the color is pear green. And you'll see as I throw in the background here that we actually have a pretty good key when we go to key out that green and add a background. I thought this was an appropriate one since it's pretty much what it looks like outside right now if we actually were in the field. Now, one of the problems with doing chroma key to have a backdrop on a green screen is lighting. And you may be able to see a little bit of shadow here over my right shoulder. I don't know if we got that keyed out or not. I won't know until we go into post-production. And that's because we don't have a backlight. Right now we are using a 2-light system where we actually need a 3-light system. We have a key light over here that's about 800 watts, and we have a 200 watt fill light up over here. Both are CFL bulb lights. And we need to add a backlight to completely get rid of any shadows that are going to be behind me in the keying process. So lighting is probably just as important, if not more so, than getting the right shade of green when you go to make a chroma screen. Now, one of the things that I have learned from watching other YouTube videos about this subject is the light color. Now, a lot of people make a big deal about what's called the CRI, or the color rendering index, and that's all well and good, but if you're going to buy commercial off-the-shelf bulbs at the hardware store, chances are you're not going to be able to find a CRI rating or a specific accurate one. It might say greater than 80, but it won't say whether it's an 85 or a 90 or 95 CRI. However, one of the things that almost all CFL bulbs, and that's compact fluorescent light, will tell you what the color temperature is. Color temperature has to do with the color that's emitted from lead when it is heated to a specific temperature Kelvin. So a 2700K bulb is a relatively yellow bulb. It's in the low end of the spectrum. It gives off a very yellowy kind of light. This is what you see with a lot of indoor lighting. And a 6500 watt light is very white. And that's if you heat lead to 6500 degrees, you're going to have a very white light emitted from the material. And so our key light here is 6500 watt bulbs. 800 watts worth of them, and our fill light is in fact a 4200K, and the K stands for Kelvin, degrees Kelvin, which is not really degrees Kelvin. Kelvin's an absolute scale, so it's not measured in degrees like Fahrenheit or Celsius. This is a 4200K bulb, and the backlight will probably also be a 6500K bulb, a very white light on the backdrop to get rid of the shadows when we add it. So you need a 3-light system at minimum. We may end up actually adding a 4th light. I don't know, whatever it takes to get rid of the shadows so we can key this out properly. And a lot of these episodes that I'm going to do on Thursday. Then we'll have various backdrops, and I'd certainly like to hear what you think about a particular backdrop for a particular subject that we're using. That would be interesting to hear what you think of the new format for a second segment to the show. So we'd like to thank you for joining us here on the Real United States video blog for this short episode on chroma key and green screens. We hope that you've enjoyed this. We hope that you'll pick subscribe and join us for future episodes. If you have questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section below. We try to get back to everybody as soon as we possibly can. I will answer your questions to the best of my ability. And as always, thank you for watching.